Dear friend, you all know how important it is for us the consequences of climate change. For the last 10 years in our family, we have invested more than 12 million euros in renewable energies, research, biomass, and many other things, trying to reduce and reducing effectively our carbon footprint. And we are up to 30% reduction by the year 2020. We're in the right track. But now we want to go further. And we are talking already that in 10, 12 years, probably we can be totally carbon neutral. To this effect, we see an opportunity in trying to capture and reuse the CO2 we produce at the fermentation of our wines. It's about 2,500 tons every year. Now, this CO2 previously has been absorbed by the vines by photosynthesis from the atmosphere, so it's kind of natural CO2. But if we can reutilize, if we can capture and reutilize this CO2 from the fermentation, we'll be really doing our first step in order to reduce greenhouse gases from the troposphere. These technologies are called carbon capture and reutilization, CCR. And our team has developed about 8 different ideas and prototypes that were exposed to the European press, about 10 journalists, last October 18.
CCR technologies can be split into biological capture and chemical capture technologies, and Torres has tested 7 of them, of which we would like to highlight the following 3. Power to gas. Power to gas is a technology that allows the conversion of electricity into gas fuel. Although several processes of conversion exist, all of them use electricity to split water into hydrogen and oxygen through electrolysis. Hydrogen may then be directly used as a fuel or upgraded to energetically denser fuels. This is the case of methanation, where CO2 and hydrogen are combined to obtain methane, CH4. This transformation can be achieved by chemical or by biological means, using specialized microorganisms, which produce methane as a byproduct of their metabolism. Torres tested its first biological methanation in October 2017 to see whether it was possible to implement an industrial-scale installation, already developed by the German company Elektrokea. This is one of the possible solutions for the storage and management of renewable electricity, since it allows accumulating the energy generated in the peaks of production and use it in the peaks of demand. Cyclical organic carbonate synthesis. Here CO2 is assimilated into epoxy compounds to produce cyclic organic carbonates, which can then be polymerized to make solvents used in, for example, the paint industry, to keep the paint fluid until it is applied and dries. Inorganic carbonate production. Caustic soda dissolved in water forms a basic solution, where hydroxides are available to react with CO2 forming inorganic carbonates. This reaction can be used to capture CO2, leading to the formation of inorganic carbonates that have a wide range of applications, for example for making or recycling paper, for the elaboration of baking soda, or the production of medicines.
Well, we are continuing our contacts with universities, with researchers, companies interested in the subject, in order to invite them and to have next October another exhibition of ideas that could be used to capture this carbon dioxide. I think that this is a very promising subject for the wine industry, since we produce big quantities of carbon dioxide every year in our wineries, but also that this carbon dioxide is very pure, so it can be treated accordingly. I think on the these technical things you have seen, basically the idea is that we want to retain the CO2 on the earth. We want to make carbonate, we want to make methane, which becomes a biogas. So that's the basic thing. Keep this product, CO2, on the earth. I think then we will be, in the right track to say that we are for the first time in the future maybe to reduce greenhouse gases which are causing the warming. And I hope that in Torres, in the next 2 years, we can invest in a plant, maybe one of these ideas probably, that could be maybe absorbing 10-20% of the CO2 we send every year at fermentation, the fermentation of the wines into the atmosphere. Thank you, and let's work together.